Leading off for Highland Park will be the right fielder, Derek Moore. He's a young man who put the ball way over the fence. Jeff Ash delivers, ball one inside. Last inning was Jeff's best inning. He got him out quickly. Starts off with the ball. This guy even had to sit in dugout a good while before we caught up that time. The windup in the pitch. Ball two inside. You may be thinking about what Mr. Moore did with the ball the first time he got up. 370 over the fence is a lot to think about out there. 2 balls, no strikes. Jeff Ash, the windup and the pitch. Ball 3 inside. He's keeping him in tight. He's not going to let him extend his arms out over one of these things. Has a way to really get a pitcher's attention when old boy takes one way over the fence on you. 3 balls, no strikes, the windup and the delivery. Ball 4, high and away. Puts Derek Moore on first base. That brings up the left fielder, Andrew Woodard. I think Woodard's when he hit the home run, not Moore. Oh, who knows? People don't remember. Runner at first base. Ash into the windup and the pitch. Ball 1. Down low in the dirt. That long wait over there for Jeff may be hurting him a little bit right now. He may have to warm back up. Moore at first base gets a good lead. Stretch it out. Jeff kind of gives him a little look and the windup and the delivery. Inside. But Woodard takes a swing at it. So that he's in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Woodard helped him out a little bit that time. That ball was inside too. Jeff's not on the plate yet. The windup and the pitch from Jeff Ash, and it's a foul ball back up into the stands, right into where Dan Eddie's sitting. Didn't get him, almost. That brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff's out in front of him. No outs. Highland Park has a run on first base. They're trying to fight their way back into this thing also. Jeff's trying to do the best he can, keep him from doing it. Looks into Glenn Tennyson, gets the signals. Looks over his shoulder and time takes a look at Mr. Moore at first base. The windup and the delivery. Ball, high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Working himself a little bit of a jam. Didn't give him anything really to pull on that pitch. Kind of wasted that one. Looks into Tennyson. Wind up and the delivery. Whoa, strong swing into left field. Ball is quickly hustled up by Gibraltar and thrown back into Chris Curtis. Nice stroke. Curtis didn't stand a chance. That ball was by him so quick, he didn't even get a good step on that ball. Woodard really popped on that thing. Really got a stroke on it. Jeff got that up a little bit. He really got a turn on it. That'll bring up James Wilson for Highland Park. And they're out looking at Chris Curtis. That ball may have got up and got him in the hand or up on the wrist. Coach Ronback runs out and takes a look at it. That might mess up Coach Ronback's plans too, because Chris was down in the bullpen last inning warming up. He could be coming in. But I see that Duncanville's got somebody else up down in the bullpen loosening it also. So, you know, it's kind of chilly out here, so you can't really not have anybody ready. You got to kind of keep somebody throwing down in the bullpen, because it doesn't take very long to cool off, and you don't want to hurt a young man's arm in a situation like this. Jeff's giving him 4 real good innings, and he may be thinking about making a change here. Coach Ronback's talking to him, reminding him, keep the ball down, keep your head in the game. You're not in trouble yet. Highland Park has runners at first and second, no outs, and second baseman James Wilson, the number 9 hitter. That could help us out. down in the bottom of the batting order, but high school batting orders, that doesn't always count. Ash goes into the stretch, the windup, and the pitch high. Really didn't lean into that thing. Acts like he may be, Jeff acts like he may be a little stiff out there right now, a little cold. Ball one. Looked into Tennyson for the sign. Kind of checks the runner at second base. The delivery, oh, he tried to bunt that ball way back over into the stands, over in Father's Row. Woke all those guys up, leaned up against that fence over there. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter, James Wilson. Highland Park's in the same situation Duncanville was in last inning. Need that base hit to get that run on the round. 1 hit will score a run here and put you another runner in scoring position. Ash has got 1 ball and 1 strike on Wilson, the hitter. He looked into Tennyson, pitching out of the stretch. The wind up in the delivery, ball outside. Jeff seems to be struggling a bit right now. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the first time he's had to pitch with 2 runners on. They've managed to push around and get their 3 runs, 1 at a time. Ash looks in and gets a signal. The windup and the delivery. Oh, got him on his wrist. Elbow, got him inside anyway. That loads him up. Boy, and that puts us back up to the top of the batting order for Highland Park to Philip Simpkins, the 3rd baseman. Simpkins is K'd and been on.
Take him out, Jeff. Take him out, Bob.
And it looks like we may have a stall situation going on here. Duncanville's got somebody warming down the bullpen. I can't tell who it is from here. He's got on his sweats down there, and I don't blame him. It's too cold. Simpkins looks in. Coach flashing a bunch of signs. I think he wants to make sure that Philip Simpkins gets this sign. Ash winds and pitch. Oh, Simpkins got part of that one. Got it back on the screen there. We just been notified that's Brad Miller down in the bullpen trying to get loosened up. Getting ready if Jeff needs any help. Bases loaded, no outs. 1 strike on the batter, Philip Simpkins for Highland Park. Ash pitching out of the windup now. The windup and the delivery. Ball's up and in a little bit. Ball 1, strike 1. I think Jeff's over praying for a comebacker. Get 1 back to him, and maybe we can get 2 out of this thing and keep a run in. Looks into Tennyson for the sign, the windup, and the delivery. And he squares the bunt, and it's down low. Let's see what the umpire calls it. Calls it a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Says Simpkins got it back in time. Hey, we're trying to push them all in that time. A little suicide. Tennyson appeals to the field umpire, and the umpire behind the plate grants the appeal, and the umpire says, no, he didn't. He pulled it back. So the count at 2 balls and 1 strike stands. Bases loaded, no outs. Ash looks into Tennyson for the sign, the windup, and the delivery. Oh, up high. Ball. We're working into a jam now. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jordan runs over and tries to offer a little help. I think we're killing time. We're stalling now. That's all there is to it. I don't think I've seen Raymond clean his shoes 5 times in 15 years of playing ball. Settle him down, slow him down a little bit. Simpkins standing in with 3 balls and 1 strike. Looking for something he can drive someplace. Ash looks into Tennyson, the windup and the delivery. Strike. Yeah, he got that in there. Down low, Jeff didn't give in to him, made a good pitch. Tennyson squeezed it in there real tight and let the umpire take a good look at it. Simpkins gets the signs from third base coach. Digs in, says, boy, I need a pitch to hit. And Ash delivers. Down low, it's out under Tennyson. Ball 4. Little hustle, but it's all for no good. That makes it 5-4. Highland Park's trying to climb back in it. They still don't have any outs. That'll bring up Paul O'Shell, the center fielder, number 15. Well, this may be all for Jeff. Coach Romback's making a walk to the mound. He done a pretty good job. Got into a little trouble here. Got throwing a lot of pitches. Got a little stiff over while Duncanville caught up in the 4th. Not too sure whether he's going to go to Brad Miller's been warming up in the down there, or whether he's going to go to Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is throwing in the infield with Jordan. Jordan's swinging around looking like he may be going to pitch. I haven't seen Raymond pitch in 3 or 4 years. He's a heck of a jungle baller, but I don't think he's going to go to him. Looks like he may be going to Curtis. He's going to call from. It looks like he may be calling for Miller. Coach Romback's got us all guessing now. I wish he'd have called over here and told me what he's going to do. I wouldn't have to be able to do all this guessing. But you know how coaches are. They don't want anybody to know what's going on. And Brad Miller will be the pitcher for Duncanville. And Brad's a junior, and he's a backup third baseman also. He's a little bit of a junker. Throws a lot of breaking pitches. He's got a pretty good fastball to go with it. Makes that breaking pitch look a lot better. This is definitely coffee weather. I don't know whether it's baseball weather or not, though.
It's going to be it.
If you're going to edit this out, I ain't going to say nothing. You got to edit this out now. Oh, my buns hurts bad. Charlie, you'll have to edit this out. Because I'm not going to sit here for 15 minutes while he warms up. I did that other guy.
This cool.
You safe thing.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, you're on.
Come on, Jerry.
The new pitcher for Duncanville will be Brad Miller. And he'll be facing Paul O'Shell, the shortstop. He's had 1 hit tonight already. The wind up in the pitch, ball high. Brad's still not loose yet. And he comes into the ball game with a score. The Panthers up 5-4 over Highland Park, but Highland Park has got all the sacks full. There's no more room for anybody else. He's got to get them out. Wind up by Miller and the delivery. Oh, I was fixing to call that in a strike, but the umpire's got a little better position than I do. He's a little closer. 2 balls, no strikes on Paul O'Shell, the shortstop. Miller looks into Tennyson. The delivery, ball high. Brad's having a hard time. Can't get the breaking pitch down. That pitch was up and behind him. He had a hard time with that one. Three balls, no strike on Paul O'Shell, the shortstop. The windup by Miller and the delivery. Ball 4. And that ties the score, folks. A little confusion there. Umpire not hollering loud enough, I guess. Let them know what's going on. That brings up the center fielder, Preston Leon. He's had a single tonight. And the Scots have still got the bases loaded. And they got the score tied, too. They're still in there, struggling and hanging in there and trying to get that one hit, just like the Panthers did to get their 5th run. Need that one hit. Miller winds and delivers. Ball inside, breaking pitch. Can't get it to quite break over. We hear the Scots down under us, boy. They got the emotions up and they're really trying to get a hit themselves. Miller looks in, winds and delivers. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Finally got that strike he's been looking for. Now maybe he can relax and come on and bring the ball on in here. Bases loaded. 1 ball, 1 strike on the center fielder, Preston Leon. The windup by Miller and the delivery. Ball low down in dirt. Breaking pitch. He's got the curveball down in there. Two balls, 1 strike. Still no outs. Panthers desperately need a comeback or a strikeout. They need to get multiple outs here. The windup by Miller and the delivery. Foul ball. Leon got him a good swing at that one. Got a good rip at it. Brings the count though to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller looking for that 1 more strike. Standing back at the back of the mound. Pounding the glove into the ball into the glove, trying to relax and get that 1 more strike in there. Looks into Tennyson for the sign, and Miller delivers. Ball low. It's one of those 58-foot curveballs. Didn't get it there. Now he's got himself in a bad situation again. He's already walked 1. Got a full count on Preston Leon, center fielder for Highland Park. Got to get this into him, and Leon knows it. Miller delivers down low, and the umpire says yes, he did. Tennyson chased it around on the ground, but the bases are full, and no one advances, and we got our first out. Was a while coming. They've scored 2. Scored 2 in the top of the 5th. Still got them loaded, still in trouble. That brings up the catcher, Scott McKinnon. Miller would like to have a little comebacker here and turn 2 on this thing and get out of this inning. The windup by Miller and the pitch. Low, down the way, the ball gets away from Tennyson, but no runner. He thought about it, but came on back to 3rd base. Brad shaking his head. He knows he's got to get that ball up. So does Tennyson, the catcher. It makes it miserable for that catcher back there trying to fight and hang on that ball. Tennyson's quick as a cat, and he got back there quickly on the ball. Made the runner at 3rd hesitate and think about it. It's 1 ball on McKinnon, the batter for Highland Park. Highland Park looking for 1 hit. Wind up by Miller, and McKinnon hits the ball. Ash, shortstop, gets it, and the relay back to 1st base, and they get the run out of it. Don't get the runner at 1st base. Sanchez just couldn't get up and off the bag in time. But we get an out of it. But Highland Park gets a run. They go up on top, 6-5. Panthers got 2 outs now. Trying to get that 3rd one, but Highland Park still got runners on the corners. That brings up Chris Groves, the 1st baseman. He's made contact every time he's been up tonight. Miller looks in and delivers, and Groves hits it hard. But Sanchez finds a handle on it, and finally, the Panthers get the Scots to give up here, but they don't until they get the score to 6-5. After 5.5 innings, or 4.5. Leading off for Duncanville would be the 3rd baseman, Raymond Jordan, to face Todd Burke, the new pitcher for Highland Park. Burke steps back and delivers a curveball, and Jordan ripped the thing down the left field line. The umpire says no good. Looked like it hit the line from up here, but we can't see that line down that well. Burke hung that curveball up in Jordan's face, and he like to kill himself swinging at that thing. I'm sure Mr. Burke is glad that didn't stay fair. That would have been real trouble. But thank goodness enough, it's just a long strike. Burke looks into McKinnon for the signs, the windup, and the pitch. Long fly ball down the left field line. Foul ball. Now Jordan's now hit both lines. Right field. I don't know which line that is. They're over here hollering at me now. I don't have those L's and R's on the back of my hands anymore. Now Jordan's got one on either line, either way. Burke's got the ball up both times. Todd Burke looks in, gets a sign from McKinnon, the windup and the delivery. Ball low, the umpire says. Everybody in the Highland Park dugout says strike. But that's the way it goes. The man in the blue calls him. It don't make any difference what we think about it. Burke's up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jordan. Burke looks into McKinnon, the windup and the delivery. Ball low, evens the count up at 2-2. Burke is quite a different pitcher than Bond. Bond was side armored, down low, kept everything down. Man, Burke delivers a curveball down in the dirt, about 57 feet of it. McKinnon kind of gives him a long look. Would rather he not throw that pitch, I think. That makes it tough on the old catcher. They may wear all that equipment, but it doesn't make it fun. The count's 3 balls, 2 strikes on Raymond Jordan, and Burke delivers again. Ball low, the umpire says. So it gives Duncanville his first runner in the bottom of the 5th. And brings up Duncanville's first baseman, Chris Eddy. Chris is a man that hits the ball every time he's been up tonight, but doesn't have but 1 hit to show for it, but he's got the little pooch hit over here, over behind the second baseman. Jordan's a good base runner. He doesn't look like he'd be fast, but he can get down there. The windup by Burke and the delivery today. Chris Eddy down low, and now Jordan's going, and he gets there. McKinnon came down and gave a good effort on it, but skipped the throw into the shortstop. I believe that's 5 stolen bases for the Panthers tonight. Coach Ronbeck runs down here. I wonder if Chris Eddy may have missed a sign. No, I guess not. We're going to have a pinch runner for Jordan. Chris Waters is going to run for Raymond Jordan. Raymond hustled down there. Like I said, Raymond doesn't look like a base stealer, but boy, he was there. Gave it a head first, and he's always been that way. They used to call him Dirt. Raymond used to lay down in the dirt when he was a little kid and get his dirt uniform all dirty. He said that's the only way you have any fun. Panthers have a runner at second base, Chris Waters. Chris Eddy at the plate with 1 ball on him. Todd Burke on the mound for Highland Park. Looks into McKinnon for the signal. Looks at Waters, the windup and the pitch. Ball. Outside, I guess. Chris over here flexing his legs, staying loose. Chris Eddy trademark. Todd Burke looks in and delivers right at the knees, but the umpire says ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The Panthers have the tying run on second base and no outs. Burke looks in to McKinnon for the sign and delivers. Ball 4. Now the Panthers have runners at first and second base. Highland Park scrambling over here to get another pitcher warmed up. That brings up the shortstop now and the starting pitcher, Jeff Ash. Just hit the ball tonight. Doesn't have much to show for it, but he's made that contact. He didn't hurt his own game. Burke checks out Waters and delivers to the plate. Strike right in there. Must have had the take sign on that one. He did bring that pitch in there. Been a little while. I'm sure Ronback's trying to play the percentages there and make him bring one in. Burke looks and delivers, and it's a bunt back to the pitcher. And he whips the ball to third base, but it's not in time. Not in time. And everybody's safe all the way around. First baseman tried to charge, but the old ground's a little slick out here, and he slipped down. It might have made a difference if he could have fielded it there. Gave him some assistance over there. Now then, Duncanville's got Highland Park where they were last inning. That brings up the second baseman, Randall Sanchez. Randall had to hit his last time up. And Duncanville's bid to catch up. And Burke delivers. A little outside. Duncanville's turning the tables on Highland Park. They've got the bases loaded now and don't have any outs. Burke struggling right here to try to get his first out, just like Brad Miller was. Burke looks in and delivers. Ball outside. Sanchez taking a good look at the ball, not trying to squeeze the trigger on anything that's not right down the middle of the plate. He's got 2 balls and no strikes on him, and the coach from Highland Park calls time. Highland Park has a left-hander warming up over here in the bullpen.
Schaefer, get ready, get down.
And the coach walks out. McKinnon's at the mound, and they're talking about it here. Be interesting to see if he changes and goes to the left-hander he's got warming up in the bullpen. The Panthers got the bases loaded, but need that hit. Need one hit to put him up on top. Coach decides at this point to leave him in, see if he can work himself out of the jam. Sanchez has 2 balls and no strikes on him. While Highland Park has a conference on the mound, he runs down to Coach Ronback and they have a conference. You know that Randall's looking for a pitch that he can drive someplace, and only a good pitch. The wind-up by Burke and the delivery. Strike. And he gets that thing in there. Sanchez bluffed a little bunt on us, but really wasn't much to it. Looks into Coach Ronback for a sign. Coach Ronback's flashing them everywhere, trying to make them think about it. Burke backs off, takes a look at it, draws a deep breath, steps back on the rubber. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs, and the bases are loaded. Burke looks in, and it's a pickoff to third base. But Waters stayed awake. He's not asleep. Coach Ronback hollered Sanchez to hang in there, and we need a hit. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the delivery. Right in there and blows it by him. Faked the bunt. Everybody from Highland Park was headed for the bunt. Sanchez tried to cross him up, but doesn't manage to come up with any lumber on the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, the bases loaded. Burke working hard, trying to get that out. The wind-up and the delivery. Whoa, 5-0, way back over here. Let's see if the right fielder catches it. He doesn't catch it. Foul ball. Probably the best thing he could have done at that point. If he'd have caught that one, he'd have scored for sure. Sanchez gets it way down the line. There's no way he could have turned and thrown him out, I don't believe. Waters was sitting on the base, ready to go. That brings the counts to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sanchez hanging in there and Burke's hanging in there. You got a good battle going. Burke's trying to get him to swing it one more and not touch that thing, and Sanchez is trying to put it in play. Burke looks into McKinnon for the sign, the windup and the delivery. Strike, whoa, big breaking pitch, and Sanchez chased the thing out over the plate. Good pitch by Burke. That gets his first out. That brings us back to the top of the batting order for the Panthers and brings up Steve Gibraltar. Steve's had a hit tonight. No Panthers hope he can do it one more time. Need one more hit to push the Panthers back up on top. Burke is out standing out there and saying, no, you're not either. Looks into McKinnon. Draws his sign. Goes into the stretch and the delivery. Down low. Ball one. Still got the bases loaded. One ball, one out. Burke trying to get one more out. Trying to get the advantage on his side of this thing. The wind in the delivery. Beats the ball to the third baseman. He quickly throws home down low. Umpire says yes, gets the fourth. Woo! I bet the coach from Highland Park his heart's up in his throat there. I got excited about it. Third baseman made a good play. Catcher made a good play. Hung in there and got to throw. That kind of got everybody's blood running there. Base is still loaded. Got 2 outs. The hitter for the Panthers is Brad Miller. Burke is now pitching from the windup, the wind and delivery. And Miller drives it through. The third baseman has flagged that thing down. What a play! Holy cow! Great play! Great play. I mean, Miller hit the ball and stroked it through there, and he dug it out. Woo! And everybody on the Highland Park side of the field breathes a sigh of relief. Highland Park's up 6-5 after 5.5. All right, go. All right, Brad Miller's pitching for Duncanville now. That brings up Rusty Stevens, the DH. First pitch by Miller's down low in the dirt. Breaking pitch. Ball one. Well, Highland Park really got out of a jam last inning. And the delivery. Whoa, and Stevens cranked that ball into right field, and Ramos falls down trying to get it. Ball's to the wall, and Stevens is headed for third base. Throw to the cutoff man, and he makes it the stand-up triple. Ramos went after the ball, misplayed the ball, and tried to stop. When he came back on it, he slipped and fell down, and the ball went all the way to the wall. And Stevens was hustling and digging all the time with a stand-up triple into right field. He stroked that ball pretty good. And Coach Rombeck says, we're changing pitchers. Brings in Chris Curtis. When Curtis left the ball game a while ago, he went straight to the mound and warmed up. And he's ready. About a 6-foot right-hander. 6'1". Brings pretty good heat. Throws a lot of breaking stuff. Those strikes, which is what the Panthers need desperately now, is strikes. They can't afford Highland Park to get up any further.
What's y'all's record? What is the record?
About 2-6.
You guys got some good players. What's the deal? I mean,
Can't get it together. Can't get it together.
I mean, seriously, there's 3 guys that can throw pretty good. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I've been there.
They can't get it all together.
And no hits.
What?
No hits. No hits at the right time. Just like a while ago. Bases loaded, no hit. We'll have to cut this out too. We'll have to edit this part of the game. Hey, I sit over here too.
Do you guys have any power hitters?
Bell.
Somewhere.
Center fielder can.
Can he?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen one hit to the wall, but I mean.
He put one out at the flagpole about 10 feet up the flagpole right there. He cranked it.
Well, I'm sure.
All right. They haven't all season. Okay. Who's up?
Looks like a bad year.
Who's up?
Wait, set, D. Moore. Come on, Derek Moore. Come on now.
Moore. Now batting for Highland Park, Derek Moore, and he tries to bunt. He's got the squeeze on. Hey, trying to get another run. Stevens was coming all the way, and it was a bunt all the way. Moore's been able to hit the ball. But that's a strike for Curtis. He gets it started out front. It'll make a difference what happened to it. Chris looks into Tennyson. Gets his signal. Steven gets his lead over on third. Highland Park trying to get another one. The pitch and delivery. Right down the right field line. Hit it pretty good, but strike two is all it is. And I know Curtis appreciated that. Curtis got pretty good fastball. He'll surprise you. He get that ball in there pretty quick. Moore's a pretty good hitter. He looks into his coach, gets a signal. Curtis gets in, looks into Tennyson and gets his. And we're all set and ready to play. The windup and the pitch. Big high curveball, never came close to the strike zone. Curtis said, trying to get him to chase one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on third base, and no outs. Highland Park's putting the pressure on, keeping the heat up. They got the 1-run lead, and they're trying to get another one. Curtis looks in. Wind up and a delivery. Pop up. Tried to bunt that ball and got it up in the air. Could have been a real problem, but it drifted very harmlessly into foul territory. And Mr. Moore's out on the attempted bunt on the third strike. So that makes 1 away now. That brings up Andrew Woodard, the left fielder. 1 out, and Stevens over on third base there, trying to get somebody to make a mistake or get him a base hit so he can get her in. Curtis had to rub it on the baseball, trying to get it ready. Looks into Tennyson. Wind up and the delivery. Whoa, big old curveball, strike. Started that thing about waist high and behind him and dropped it right on the inside corner. Good pitch, good pitch. 1 strike on the batter, Andrew Woodard. The windup and the pitch. Good fastball. I guarantee you that sucker looked like it was 90 miles an hour. It's that little old curveball. And Woodard took a big swing at it too. Curtis took it right by him. Good pitch. Nice setup on the whole situation. Curtis working on top now. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. The wind and the pitch. Strike right at the knees. Good pitch. Good pitch. Curtis is doing a good job coming in relief here. Got 2 outs. That brings up the second baseman for Highland Park, James Wilson. Chris Curtis pitching for Duncanville, trying to get 1 more out. Winds and delivers. Ball high. That fastball didn't look near as fast as that other one after that nice little curveball set it up. Curtis doing a good job of pitching, moving the ball up and down, in and out, changing his pitches. Winds and delivers, a little old curveball. Doesn't quite get it to drop in. Umpire says ball 2. Let's see if he doesn't come back with a good fastball this time. Trying to guess ahead and see what Tennyson gives him. A wind and a delivery, good fastball, yes sir. Try to set him up. But Wilson fouls it out of play. Hangs in there with it, gets a piece of it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And Rusty Stevens sitting over on third base, looking for the Panthers, try to make a mistake or get a base hit. Curtis winds and delivers. Strike right at the knees. Good pitch. Good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curtis turns around and points. Ramos gets him to come in out there in right field. He winds and delivers. Ball low, good pitch. Didn't give in. Made a good pitch, hoping that he'd chase it. Because if he does, there's not much he can do with it. But now he's got it to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big pitch. The wind and the delivery. Boy, he knocked that sucker down. Right down the third baseline. Jordan took a dive for it, but didn't come up with it in his foul ball.
Get around, son. Way to get around.
Wilson couldn't wait on that one. Out early, right on the end of the bat. That could have been some problems if he hadn't got around so quick. That holds the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. And Stevens still standing over there going, come on, guys, get me home. Curtis looks in. Gets a signal from Tennyson and throws high, ball 4. Stevens made a big break to the plate. May have occupied Chris's concentration for just a second. Didn't quite get his delivery all the way through. Didn't bend into the pitch. Well, that brings up Philip Simpkins, the third baseman. The man that ended Duncanville's little rally a while ago with a tremendous play.
Let's go, Flipper! Come on, Philip!
Highland Park dugout over here rooting on Philip Simpkins, trying to get him to put one in play. Runners at first and second. Curtis delivers. Strike at the knees, the umpire says.
Come on, Philip! Come on, Philip!
Highland Park's got runners at first and third, and their leadoff hitter at the plate, Philip Simpkins. Curtis looks in, out of the stretch, and delivers. Curveball, strike.
Come on, Philip! Tough, Neil.
I think Simpkins would have liked to take an after that one. He may have had the take sign. Looked like he wanted to take a swing at it, but just didn't quite do it. No balls, 2 strikes. Curtis up on working on top. Winds and delivers. Whoa, and Simpkins drives it deep, but Bell's under it. And ends the inning.
What's the score?
After 5.5 innings, Duncanville 5, Highland Park 6. Leading off for the Panthers will be right fielder Nick Ramos to face Todd Burke. Todd got in a little trouble last inning, but managed to weather through, and they kept the Panthers from scoring, even though they were in a bases-loaded situation, thanks to a real nice play by his third baseman, Philip Simpkins. Burke looks into McKinnon. The wind and the delivery. Ball. It's one of those 57-foot curveballs. The kind of catcher hates. Gives him a dirty look and throws the ball back to him. Nick's come through tonight and had a real nice double earlier. Duncanville needs him to really get out and get started on this one too. We need a leadoff runner. Burke looks in and delivers. Strike. Ramos takes a big swing at it. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the leadoff hitter, Nick Ramos. Nick had a hard time in right field while he goes sliding around on that 1 ball. I know he wants to make up for it. And Burke delivers high. Ball 2, 2 balls, 1 strike. They had another long inning, and I know that doesn't help the pitchers at all. It's, you know, the first batter, they've almost got to warm back up again. Burke looks in and delivers. And Ramos cranks a high fly ball to right center. And Leon backs up and pulls it in right in front of the fence. He hit that about 370, but right there he's going to have to go about 380, and that just long out. That brings up the center fielder and cleanup hitter, Eric Bell. Eric's had a hard time tonight. He struck out twice, but came through in the inning when they went ahead and got that base hit. Burke looks into McKinnon, winds and throws. Curveball high. He really bent that thing in there. Big pitch. Burke looks into McKinnon again. Winds and delivers. Low. Squeezing that thing real tight and driving it into the dirt. McKinnon's taking a beating back there. Good thing he's got all that equipment on. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. On a long fly ball by Ramos. Bell would sure like to put this thing in play. Burke pitches high. Brings the count to 3-0. This will have to be an awful nice pitch for Bell to take a swing at. And I would put money on it. Coach Romback says don't swing. Burke winds and delivers. Strike right in there. Right in there. Highland Park dugout urging Mr. Burke on to throw them all like that. Bell digs in. Burke looks into McKinnon. The wind and the pitch. Ball outside. Ball goes all the way to the screen. Bell hustles down. Don't think he'd try to take another one. Take another base. Umpire calls time. That brings up for Duncanville the designated hitter, Chris Cantu. Chris was the one who got it started last inning, got all the way around the third and couldn't get her home. Bell at first base. Trying to get down to second base. Burke's got 1 out, looking for a double play ball. Winds and throws. But Cantu cranks one long and deep out there, but Leon circles under it and makes the catch. Bell has to hustle back. Duncanville's pounded the ball hard this time, but Leon's managed to pull them all in. They may be long, but they're nothing but outs. You line drive someplace. Get this thing started again. 2 outs. Todd Burke on the mound for Highland Park. They're knocking him around, but Burke still holds the edge, 6-5. Raymond Jordan in to hit for Duncanville. Raymond's had a hit tonight, stolen base. Burke throws to him, and Raymond drives it to the third baseman, bounces it off his chest, and everybody's going to be safe. He got that thing on the short hop and tried to get up in front of it, and it bounced up and hit him in the chest and just bounced away from him enough he couldn't get the throw. Well, we got 2 outs. We got runners on first and second. Chris Eddy stepping up. Panthers trying to get that base hit. Had the bases loaded last time and couldn't get that run in. Needed that hit. It's been one of their problems all season. Not been able to get that one hit in that right time to get the runners in. Burke stands out there, looks into McKinnon, trying to get that last out, trying to get in the dugout. Winds and throws, and Chris Eddy drives it. Oh, and the first baseman steals it. Highland Park has come up with a defensive place when they had to. After 6 complete. Highland Park 6, Duncanville 5. Dang. Leading off for Highland Park in the top of the 7th, Paul O'Shell, the shortstop. He'll be facing Chris Curtis, who came on last inning and managed to get Highland Park set down before they could score another one, keep the score close. Curtis looks into Tennyson. Paul O'Shell digs in. The wind and the delivery, curveball. You can see that hump in that thing over here real good. But he did manage to get it over. It was ball 1. Curtis wind and delivered again. Ball 2 down low. Curtis does a nice job of changing speed on his pitches, mixing in the curveball and the fastball. Makes his fastball look much quicker. The wind and delivery again. Foul ball back over our heads for strike 1. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. And O'Shell's hanging in there, trying to get him a good rip at a pitch. Curtis trying to string a couple strikes together and set this thing down and get in there and hit, and he throws again. Calls it a strike. Blue said, yeah, he was there. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see what Chris comes with now. He winds and throws a little curveball, and O'Shell drives it. Oh, man, it's back deep. Off the wall at the 360 mark. O'Shell rounding second base and headed for third. A good throw will get him. Throws a little late. Jordan gets it on him, but not in time. Had a little overthrow there and missed the first cutoff man and hit the second cutoff man. Didn't quite get the throw that we really needed. Didn't have quite enough steam on it. But O'Shell, he struck that sucker with authority. Right in the gap. So that brings up the center fielder, Preston Leon. Leon's had a good night in the field and its plate. No outs. Runner at third base for Highland Park. And Curtis delivers. Fastball right in there. Leon just quite can't handle it, just gets a little piece of it for strike 1. Well, I can't get over O'Shell. He really ripped that ball. Right at the 360 mark, right in the gap. Gibraltar was in hot pursuit, but couldn't get there. Bell cut it off and made a good throw into the cutoff man. Little quicker relay, and we had a good chance at third base. Curtis looks into Tennyson. O'Shell leading off third, the wind and the pitch. Ball a little high. 1-1's the count to Preston Leon. Curtis has got himself in a little bit of a jam here. Going to pitch his way out. Needs a strikeout right here. He knows it. He winds and delivers. Good fastball, little outside. Can't get it quite over. Tennyson's trying to pull it in there. 2 balls, 1 strike. O'Shell leads off at third base. Curtis winds and delivers. Curveball short in the dirt. And O'Shell scores. Tennyson can't retrieve the ball quick enough. 57-foot curveballs are a catcher's nightmare. Glenn couldn't quite block it off. Highland Park goes up 7-5. And Leon has a 3-ball, 1-strike count on him. Curtis is a little disgusted, walk around the back of the mound. He knows he's got to get them out. Knows he's got to throw strikes. Leon steps in. Curtis delivers. Strike, foul tip. Full count. Curtis just reared back and let that one fly. Leon just didn't get all of it, just got a little piece of it, hanging tight in there. Highland Park still doesn't have any outs. They're still running on top. Panthers still scrambling, trying to hang in. Curtis winds and delivers. Down low, ball 4. Pressing just a little bit. Leon trots down to first base with the walk. That brings up the catcher, Scott McKinnon. Curtis like to have a nice little ground ball on the right side so he can turn 2 on it. He looks into Tennyson and delivers. Swing and a foul ball. A little try. Highland Park tried a little hit and run on that thing. Because Leon was moving on the pitch. No balls, 1 strike. On the catcher, Scott McKinnon. McKinnon gets his sign from the coach. Curtis gets his from the catcher. And we're ready to play. The pitch, down low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Scott McKinnon. Chris appears to be pressing a little bit right now. Not relaxed and throwing the ball like he was earlier. The wind and throw curveball, and the runner's going. Tennyson guns it down, but perfect pitch to steal on. Curveball, slow curve at that. The count on McKinnon is 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Leon on second base. Panthers still don't have any outs. Got to get a ball someplace we can handle. Curtis looks in. Winds and delivers. Curveball again. A little high. Ball 2. Try to get him to chase that pitch. He just wouldn't bite on it. Just wouldn't bite on it. Leon getting his lead down at second base. Curtis looks into Tennyson. Checks the runner and the pitch. Long fly ball. We got trouble again. Gibraltar back on it. It's over. A home run for Scott McKinnon, the catcher. And everybody out of the Highland Park dugout is up to greet him. Curtis made a good pitch, good curveball. Just stayed in the strike zone too long. And he reached up there and took her out about 360 feet away. That puts them on top, 9-5. Highland Park has hit the baseball with runners on, and the Panthers haven't really is the difference in the ball game. That brings up the first baseman, number 24, Chris Groves. Still no outs. Curtis backs off, decides to think about it a little bit, steps back up, looks into Tennyson. A wind and a delivery. Hits the ball to second baseman. Sanchez stays with it. Nice play. 1 away. Randall bounced it around a little bit, but he grabbed the handle and made a good throw. That's what Chris needed, a little help there. And gives us 1 away. That brings up the designated hitter, Rusty Stevens. I know Curtis would like to have another one pitch batter here and get another out. The wind and delivery. Down low, ball 1. Stevens has had 2 hits tonight. He stroked one of them, he ended up with a triple. Curtis guns that thing in there right at the knees. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris winds and throws. Stevens hit the ball to second baseman. Sanchez reaches up there and throws him out. 2 away. That helps the old pitcher out right there to get those ground balls, to get that infield to turn them for him. Makes life a lot easier. That makes 2 away. That brings up the right fielder, Derek Moore. Moore hit the ball with a lot of authority tonight. He's been able to drive the ball. Highland Park scored a lot of runs in the 5, 6, 7, and 8 categories tonight. Curtis winds and throws. Foul ball. Strike 1. Highland Park's up there swinging. They're trying to put some more up on that board. I'm making sure that they try to keep that lead. Curtis looks in, winds and throws. Little number back into the infield. Shortstop grabbed it and stretches. Whoa, no, he's safe. Third baseman Jordan tried to pick that thing up and couldn't quite get there. That was probably the only way they were going to get him out. Probably the only way they're going to get him out. Highland Park puts another runner on base again. That brings up for Highland Park the left fielder, Andrew Woodard. Woodard stroked the ball tonight too. Curtis looks in, winds and delivers. Fastball down low. Moore's over on first base. Looking in, he's getting the signs, gets his lead. Curtis gives him a look and then delivers to the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on the batter, Andrew Woodard, the left fielder for Highland Park. Curtis trying to get that last out and get in that dugout and get some runs. Big swing by Woodard on a fastball down into knees, but he doesn't come up with it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And Highland Park leading 9-5 in the top of the 7th inning. Moore leads off first base. Curtis delivers. Big swing by Woodard again. Curtis took something off the fastball. Looked like maybe a straight change. But Woodard was way out in front of it. That brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris needs 1 more strike and we can go sit down and try to get even. The wind and the pitch, and he lines the ball through the hole. Steve Gibraltar picks it up in left field. Runners at first and second, and 2 outs. Highland Park's back at it again. Every time they get runners on, they manage to keep pushing them around. And difference in the ball game. Go back to the 4th inning. Duncanville had the bases loaded and no outs and managed to come up with no runs out of it. You look back to it, and that's about the difference in the ball game right now. Highland Park has managed to deliver in the clutch. Highland Park brings James Wilson, the second baseman, to the plate. Curtis delivers, strike right at the knees. Good fastball. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. And Highland Park looking to push their lead out a little further. Curtis looks in and delivers. Curveball low in the dirt, goes all the way to the screen. Everybody moves up a base. That curveball didn't even make it to plate. It hit about a foot in front of it. Curtis took a little too much off of it. But James Wilson took a swing at it, protecting the runners. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Umpires issuing out new baseballs. They beat on these things. They may be lopsided. He looked at one of them like it might have been lopsided anyway. Curtis looks into Tennyson. Ahead in the count and delivers. Fastball. Good pitch. Little outside. Little high. That brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third and 2 outs. Curtis looks in, winds and delivers. Ball low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chris is looking for 1 more strike. 1 more strike. So the Panthers can see if they can't even this thing up in the bottom of the 7th. The time's running out. Curtis moves to the wind and delivers. Curveball, strike 3. Looking at it. And after 6.5 innings of play, Highland Park 9, Duncanville 5. Highland Park has brought in a left-handed reliever to finish off the bottom of the 7th. Number 17, Mike Schaefer. Duncanville sends Jeff Ash to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Panthers need 4 to stay in it. Need 5 to win her. Schaefer looks in and backs off and said he'll start it over again. Rerun the signals. Looks into his catcher, McKinnon. The wind and the pitch by the left-hander. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Schaefer must be the closer for Highland Park. He definitely looks like one. Looks like a left-handed reliever all the way. Looks like he had good control. He brought that pitch right in at the knees. So McKinnon runs out and they run over the signals. Get her started again. Probably wonder what Ash had done for the evening. I guarantee you McKinnon can probably tell him everything he's done too. Jeff Ash stands in with 1 strike. Schaefer winds and the lefty delivers. right down the line. Third baseman is on his knees, come up throwing, and gets him out. Whoa, what a play. Great play by the third baseman. That's Philip Simpkins. He has done a nice job. He's made 2 outstanding plays over here. Just fantastic. You can't ask for any more than that. He was on his knees on the line and still came up and threw him out. Now batting for the Panthers will be Randall Sanchez. Schaefer winds, wastes no time, and delivers. I mean, he's ready to go. First pitch was the ball. I mean, this guy, he looks like he's ready to throw now. I mean, he gets right back in the ready position, winds and delivers. Ball low. Kennan gets on to him a little bit for maybe being too quick. Tells him to slow down. Sanchez steps back to the plate, digs in, takes a look at the lefty. The wind by Schaefer in the delivery. Ball way outside. I can hear him over here. He was disgusted with that himself. 3 balls, no strikes for Randall Sanchez. 1 out in the inning. Schaefer winds and delivers. Ball down low. Sanchez hustles first base. And that brings us back to the top of the batting order. Brings us to Steve Gibraltar. Steve had to hit his last time up. Schaefer looks in at the Sanchez at first base. Left-hander looks right at him. Winds and delivers. Ball high.
Hey, squeeze it right there.
Highland Park dugout shouting instructions, trying to get that last out. Schaefer winds and delivers. Strike right into Gibraltar. Old left-hander being over on the mound sure cuts down the base stealing threats. You got to be a little more careful. He's looking right at you. A wind in the throw. Ball inside. Highland Park dugout went crazy on that one. But Blue says it was inside. He said no good. 2 balls, 1 strike. Panthers have Randall Sanchez leading off first base. The pitch is hit in the hole by the shortstop. The runner's a hold at second base. Gibraltar comes through with a base hit. That gives us a run on first and second base with 1 out. That brings up Chris Curtis to the plate. Curtis has had a hit tonight, and the Panthers sure need for him to get another one again right now. They got the ducks on the pond. Somebody's got to get them home. Need 4 to stay in this thing, and they're down to 2 outs. Gibraltar at first base, Sanchez at second, getting a good lead. First baseman playing way back. Schaefer winds and delivers. Strike right into the knees. Boy, he really brought that in there. Good fastball. Curtis at the plate for the Panthers. Digging in, ready to try to make a little contact. Schaefer delivers. Curveball. Down low, and the umpire says it's strike 2. Highland Park dugout hollers yay, and Panther dugout's going, they're not too sure about that. But Blue says it's a strike. The wind and the pitch by Schaefer, and it's strike. Catcher drops the ball, but runners out, can't advance. Runners at first and second. You can't take off. Base is occupied. 2 outs. Panthers are down to the last out. This is going to be a real nice little battle here, lefty against lefty. Nick Ramos comes to the plate. He's had 1 big hit tonight. We need a big hit for sure now. Outfield in Highland Park shifts around toward the outfield side. Coach readjusts them. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Nick Ramos at the plate. Mike Schaefer on the mound for Highland Park, and he delivers. Whoa, nice stop by McKinnon. Schaefer hung on to that one too much and got it way outside. Nice job by McKinnon. Panthers wouldn't mind that and going to the screen and moving everybody to second and third. But we need 4 to stay in it. Schaefer winds and throws. Blue says strike at the knees. Good fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Need a base hit bad. Schaefer winds and throws. Curveball. Blue says it hit the corner on the outside. Nick shaking his head no. But it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Panthers are down to the last strike. Weymouth's trying to come through with a base hit, a hit bat, or anything right now. Keep it alive. Schaefer trying to close for Highland Park. They've been on top of the game most of the game. Schaefer winds and delivers. Curveball, and Nick chased it out of the strike zone. For out number 3. Highland Park wins the ball game 9-5.